typical canvas tote bag usually costs between $20 and $100. That's the basic price range most people think of when they hear the phrase canvas bag. But the Dior Book Tote, also made from canvas, starts at around $2,500, often sells for between $3,500 and $5,000, and can go up to $6,000 to $7,500 for limited editions with intricate embroidery or embellishments. That puts a canvas bag in the same price segment, or even higher, than many high-end leather handbags. And it still sells out quickly. This is why the Book Tote isn't bought as a shopping bag. It's bought as a status symbol that you can actually use. By 2026, it has become a true luxury item. In the US, it dominates airports, New York and Los Angeles street style, and upscale office environments where wealth signals are subtly displayed. You've seen it on Jisoo, Rihanna, Natalie Portman, Jennifer Lawrence, Victoria Beckham, Anne Hathaway, and Bella Hadid, not staged, but in real life. And yet, at first glance, it still looks like an ordinary handbag. And that's where the fun lies. Keep observing, and start seeing it through the lens of price. At first glance, the Dior Book Tote looks quite simple. The line is built around 4 main sizes, each designed for a specific lifestyle: mini, small, medium, and large. Next, let's look at the visuals. The Dior oblique pattern remains the safest and most recognizable choice. The Toile de Jouy pattern, especially the multicolored Sauvage versions, is more artistic and often commands a higher price. Seasonal designs like Plan de Paris or Zodiac elevate the bag to a limited edition collectible level. By 2026, the price of the bag is expected to range from $2,550 to $4,400 for the embroidered version, from $3,800 to $5,200 for the leather version, and up to $7,500 for the beaded or sequined version. This particular line of bags also offers ABCD or personalized name embroidery service. The cost of name embroidery typically adds around $250 to $450, depending on the length of the name and the store location. In direct comparison, it has a more robust and labor-intensive construction than Neverfull, is thicker and more architectural than St. Louis, and is more striking than Deauville. Therefore, the inevitable question is this: why is a canvas tote bag so expensive? To answer that question, we need to go back to its origins and why this design went against the prevailing trends at the time. Before its launch in 2018, the DNA of the Dior Book Tote stemmed from the archival design language of Dior, particularly the oblique motif first introduced in 1967, a pattern originally created to represent modernity, movement, and identity, not just decoration. What changed decades later was how that heritage was reinterpreted. Under Maria Grazia Chiuri, Dior revived that archival style with a very specific purpose: to design a bag that fits the real life of the modern woman. The concept behind the Book Tote is simple yet bold: a luxurious bag designed to hold knowledge, books, documents, laptops, and everyday essentials. Not a precious object to be admired from a distance, but a practical companion. Its timing was crucial. While the luxury market was obsessed with tiny bags barely large enough to hold a phone, the Book Tote took the opposite approach. It is large, uninhibited, and designed for all-day use. The Book Tote is more than a design success. It is a statement. Women can be busy, intelligent, practical, and undeniably elegant. And when something becomes both iconic and expensive, controversy is inevitable, and the Book Tote is no exception. The biggest debate surrounding the Dior Book Tote is incredibly simple. How can a canvas bag cost as much as a high-end leather bag and still be so highly regarded? This question alone has divided public opinion into 2 distinct camps. On one side are its fierce defenders. They see the bag as beautiful, emotionally resonant, and meticulously crafted. They talk about the effort behind the embroidery, how it maintains its shape, and how it is truly useful in everyday life. To them, the Book Tote feels like a better version of a designer handbag, something you do not just admire, but actually use daily. On the other side are the skeptics. They question what its true value really is, or whether it is simply a brand-driven gimmick. The debate becomes even sharper when the Book Tote is compared to bags like the Hermes Garden Party or the Louis Vuitton Beatty. Same segment, but completely different philosophies. So now, let us look directly at the one factor that truly determines the price: the production structure. The idea that a canvas tote bag could cost as much, or even more, than leather handbags from other luxury brands sounds absurd. According to traditional luxury logic, price is explained by leather type, tanning methods, and hardware. But the value of the Dior Book Tote lies in an entirely different place. First is Dior's proprietary three-dimensional embroidery technique. This is not printed canvas. Every book tote begins as a fully embroidered textile, and that single difference changes everything. A standard medium-sized book tote requires more than 1.5 million stitches. That number alone places it in a different category from mass-produced canvas bags. The embroidery is not decorative. It is structural. Stitch density creates the bag's thickness, stiffness, and weight. That is why the book tote can stand upright without plastic frames, cardboard inserts, or hidden reinforcements. Time is the next cost driver. Skilled artisans in Italy spend roughly 32 to 37 hours completing the embroidery for a single bag. This is a slow, tightly controlled process where precision matters more than speed. On a large, flat surface like the book tote, any inconsistency in tension, spacing, or alignment is instantly visible. There is nowhere to hide a flaw. This same embroidery is also what gives the bag its long-term durability. Unlike printed canvas that fades or cracks, embroidered surfaces retain structure and visual depth over years of use. Then comes manufacturing standards. Although Dior is French, all book tote bags are made in Italy, primarily around Florence, one of the most demanding centers of luxury production in the world. Every step undergoes rigorous quality control. Artisans inspect the Christian Dior stripe, seam joints, and panel alignment with extreme precision. Even a 1 millimeter deviation can lead to rejection. Finally, there is quantity control. Dior does not produce book tote bags in unlimited numbers. Seasonal motifs such as floral themes, Paris maps, or zodiac designs are intentionally limited. This raises operating costs, but it creates scarcity, which directly increases desirability and resale value. Dior is one of the very few luxury brands that allows direct name embroidery on its flagship products. Personalizing an ABC Dior is far more than a decorative add-on. Each individual name requires precise adjustments to embroidery programming, spacing, color balance, and placement. From a production standpoint, personalization disrupts standardized workflows and increases both labor and machine time. That is exactly why it is expensive and why it transforms the Dior Book Tote from a mass-produced luxury item into a one-of-a-kind piece. Beyond craftsmanship, the book tote occupies a strategic position in modern luxury culture. It has become the airport uniform of the global elite, a bag that signals wealth, taste, and momentum without loud branding. Owning it is not just about utility. It is about belonging to a visible yet tightly controlled social class. Why is it so expensive? If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on what topic you would like me to cover in the next video. See you next time.